We are back here getting ready for our second series of the day. I'm Magical, joined in by Kangas and Cubby. It was an exciting first series we had, but now to move forward into FlyQuest Challengers and Team Liquid Honda Challengers. We look at these two teams, both of them are starting to get towards the top of the standings. Team Liquid Challengers had a nice 1-1 yesterday, but then FlyQuest Challengers really looked hot yesterday in their 2-0.
I gotta say, that was a different FlyQuest Challengers, not just because they had Winsome in, but also how they performed on the Rift. That was a sound 2-0 over 100 Thieves, a look that we haven't seen from FlyQuest yet. I know that Team Liquid, they felt pretty good about that 1-1 split against Dignitas. That was also a pretty high-level series that featured 2 stomps, pretty one-sided games, but really looking forward to today. FlyQuest gave us a lot more to be excited about, not to mention that first series that slapped.
Yeah, first series was incredible, and I think that that raised the energy, but also the games yesterday from both of these two teams raised the expectation for this one going forward. Because honestly, coming into the weekend, we were both like, well, I mean,
Cloud9 knows.
They do.
Cloud9 knows. They know. Coming into the weekend, FlyQuest Challenger and Team Liquid Challenger, it was kind of tough to know how excited to be about these teams, but after their wins yesterday, FlyQuest dominating 100 Thieves, who have been surging, and then TL split that series against Dignitas, like you said, now makes this a little more exciting, because I know, Magical, you're saying they're both getting towards the top of the standings. A reminder, FlyQuest are still in 9th place at 13 and 11 after taking their 2-0 against 100 Thieves yesterday. So they still have a lot of work to do before we can say that about them. But Team Liquid, they're tied for 4th, so good on them.
Yeah, and why don't we take a look at the rosters as well for the teams we have. Let's start off with FlyQuest Challengers, since we were talking a lot about them. Bringing in Winsome, it's crazy. Just one player, one change has given them this complete new look. And of course, you know, it's only one series that we got to see out of them. But it was such a stark difference from what we've seen this entire split so far.
I gotta say, it was some of the cleaner games I've seen in terms of early game execution. They knew that 100 Thieves was going to go Zeri Lulu, and they had answers. I love when teams do that and prep strats for the other team. I want to see if FlyQuest can do some more of that today because their sound early games, they snowballed into victories. That has been how TL's been picking up their wins when they have had success.
And I'm glad you talked about that, because let's look at TLC as well, another team that has done pretty well this weekend. They split a series against Dignitas, dragging the Dignitas into the 2nd seed at the moment and getting themselves a little bit closer in that 4th place tie, the 3-way tie for 4th that they now find themselves off. And it's off that early game, as you had talked about, Cubby, how good they have played, especially APA when we look at yesterday on Cassiopeia.
That counter pick was so good. It was so good.
I heard he got 2 items by 14 minutes. Is that correct?
Yeah, just a rod in the tier, and the tier was completed by 16, you know?
That's insane.
Cool. Seraph's at 16. Chill.
Yeah, you know, just a little fed, and it was the early game. Yeah. It was all about early game, but I feel like both teams really are going to look for these early game plays, and that's what makes this a really fun matchup to look at, especially as we dive into the clips for FlyQuest Challengers, Steve.
Yeah, one thing that Cubby said is Winsome's in. So for anybody who's confused, obviously Ayla coming in really helped out, because that meant that we had their starting support for LCS. Winsome's now back in. Thank you, Keaton, for stepping in for so long. But now Winsome is slotting into the team pretty well. 100% win rate, by the way. Now the only player that's still rocking that. I know it's 2 games, but still, we'll see how long he can keep it going for. And they definitely were performing higher than we had expected from them based on what we had seen so far.
And something I'm going to be looking out for when it comes to FlyQuest, it's actually going to be the performance of Philip moving forward. Because Philip is someone that we feel like, for his 2nd year, someone that is coming from LCS, hasn't been at the level that we really were hoping or expecting from Philip. And it's funny because in a way we do slightly feel the same way about Bradley too. Right. And these two, if we go way back, actually ex-teammates going back to 2020 with LBGN, also known as XTGN. It was the real Philip in the top lane and CP Freeze, now Bradley in the mid lane before he role swapped. These two are friends behind the scenes as well, and we'll have to see if they can step up against each other today, because we are looking for a little bit more from each of these top laners.
Especially with how the meta has kind of shifted, right? We looked at the beginning of the season, we were looking at Bradley as this carry, and especially when you look at a lot of the clips, the pentakill on Jax, always something that we'll have to constantly praise.
Hey, look at that, it's right here.
Hey, it's like we're gonna show this every time we talk about Bradley.
Yeah, and I mean, when it comes to Bradley, it's not like Bradley has hit or like hasn't hit some of the high highs that we were expecting from him, but he's not smashing the league like we were kind of hoping. Because at the end of last summer, he was the second best, maybe best top laner that we had in the league, the person that was going toe-to-toe with Tenacity. And we haven't seen that same consistency from Bradley in this year. Definitely something that we're going to be looking for moving forward. We've seen the high highs, we just need more consistent games.
Yeah, and like you had said, he has not been smashing like we had hoped, because last year, even when he was competing with Tenacity in terms of like, okay, who's the best top laner in the league, we kept reminding everybody that was his first year role swapping from a mid laner to a top laner. Now he's in his second year, sophomore year as a top laner, so now it's like expectations are higher compared to performance, and even if he's not necessarily hitting those expectations, I still think he's doing a really good job as a player at this level of play, and we've seen it in the standings too. Team Liquid are having a surge right now.
They're having a surge, but they got to continue that if they want to make sure they're not contesting the 4th place spot. You know, the 3-way tie I was just talking about. Well, FlyQuest Challengers with Winston stepping in, looking really hot. And as we get into this matchup, everyone, make sure in Twitch chat you're spamming either FlyC or TLC.
FlyC needs some love.
Yeah, they need some love because
there we go.
with Winston in, they looked really good yesterday. If you didn't get to watch those games, definitely go back and watch those. But same with TLC, especially in that first game against Dignitas C. I mean, when I look at both teams, you know, pound for pound at this moment, it's funny, going into the week, I would have thought that these were two teams on a slump, but now I don't think that anymore. I think these are two teams that are going to bring some really good League of Legends to us.
Team Liquid had a good pickup against Evil Geniuses earlier on the weekend as well, and then split the series against Dignitas. So I think it's no surprise necessarily that the fans are leaning their way. I know that players like Bradley have a big fan base. Even APA, I'm sure that at least 2 of those votes are APA's parents right now, who are always in Twitch chat cheering him on too. So
hey,
maybe the FlyQuest fans will show up later.
FlyC did beat 100C 2-0, another team that was surging in the standing. So I think they deserve some love as well. But I'm going to let you guys decide.
So they're the surge protector, is what you're telling me.
Cubby, you say I'm the one who makes all these puns, and then we have Steve on the broadcast.
Oh,
what is
terrible. Do you want to do pick ban? I can
you,
so
terrible. Steve, just get out of here. I'm gonna take over the. I'm gonna take over the play-by-play from here. Get out of here. Who invited this guy? You know what? Fine. I'm gonna excuse myself. You guys take away champion select. I'm out of here. Bye.
Oh, that was brutal.
Yep.
Well, you know, we are still hoping that this match is electric. So, you know, yeah. I'm not. Man, Magical was not happy I made that joke in the background.
Valentine's Day was a couple weeks ago, but I'm feeling sparks right now. Let's get into pick and ban.
Ooh.
We got FlyQuest Challengers versus Team Liquid Challengers.
Calm down over there. Thunder and Lightning were in the last game, you know.
They were in
but
the
hey,
last
hopefully we can show some love, showcase some greatness, and see what FlyQuest can bring to the Rift today against TL. As, again, both these teams putting together better games later in the season. I must say, TL's last couple of series have been great. FlyQuest had their best 2 games just yesterday. We'll see if they can continue that against another strong opponent today.
And so we highlighted Winsome, the new support coming in. I always like to talk about their duo because Masu, the Wi-Fi wizard, as if anyone's not aware of his story. What was that?
He's no longer on Wi-Fi.
No longer on Wi-Fi,
No.
but he's still on high ping connection.
No,
even
no,
though it's Ethernet.
no. He's here. He's good now.
He made it?
He's good. I believe he's good now. Yeah, and he played against Unforgiven yesterday and played really, really well in Unforgiven. This guy is pretty crazy.
So this, okay, I'm happy that I now have that information because I was always excited about Masu because of what he was able to do playing on Wi-Fi on 120 ping for the first 3 weeks of NACL.
Yes.
Then he got Ethernet. I didn't know he was here now. That is huge because Masu is a player that I really am excited to follow his journey. We'll see what he's able to play today. I want to catch us up real quick here.
I can check, but there was a tweet yesterday from Leota, who's FlyQuest Scout, that made it seem like Masu was here.
Okay. Cubby will confirm. I'll catch us up on pick ban while he's confirming. If you're listening, not watching, the bans are Vi, Gangplank, Draven from FlyQuest, and then Elise, Silas, and Jace from Team Liquid Challengers.
He said Masu was finally getting to stretch his legs without ping restrictions, so I assume that he's here. As he said, finally the full team being united. So that's huge. He played really good yesterday.
Makes sense. He's probably here. I know Papa Smithy's been working hard on that, so I'm just a little offended I didn't get a personal DM that he was here. FlyQuest Challengers lock in. Maokai first for Philip, answered by the Sejuani Ash, and then Scion Azir. So very team fight focused first 3 champs locked in for FlyQuest so far.
And very curious that we don't have bot lane taken, as Zeri Lulu has been a big pick for Arrow plus Kim down, not to mention Masu Winsome as well. But actually letting bot lane drop, maybe dipping into the pool a little bit more for Masu, and we have APA on the Akali. This has been a new champ for APA. I know that when APA was going to be picked up by TL, Spawn was like, all right, we need this guy to just spam melee champs. Like, we got to figure out how to play some of these champs in solo queue. I think Akali is a champ that he's recently put a lot of time on, and he feels like his Akali is starting to get there. So this is a good matchup for Akali going into Azir plus Malachi. We'll see if APA can perform, as it already is mid-game focus here for TL.
And it's a little less, linear in how they want to play this out. When I see Maokai, Sai, and Azir, I kind of got an understanding of how these three champions interact with each other. When you see Sejuani, Ashe, and Akali, I see more options. I see more angles and more creativity that they can implement on the Rift. So already for those reasons, kind of excited about Team Liquid's draft. But it's important you highlighted, FlyQuest is not liking a bot lane. So we see double bot lane bans from Team Liquid Challenger. It's the Xayah and the Zeri taken off the table.
And I wonder what they're trying to set up here for Arrow, as I will say that those are two champs. I like the Xayah ban because we already are showing dive, and of course that Ashe can be flexible. So I think that we're going to see a top lane pick here on 4, and we'll have to see if Cho'Gath gets taken away, as I'm still a big Cho'Gath fan. I don't think it's fantastic against Malachi Azir, but I do think it's really good against Malachi plus Sion. So we'll see if that is going to be the pick for Bradley, as Bradley's champ pool has actually been narrowed quite a bit, as it's now 3 bans against Bradley. Olaf has been another pick that he has really liked, and would be okay already in this game.
Ooh, okay, no, the Aurelia hover was a bait. I do love me some Bradley Aurelia. It's one of the champions he played the most in the top lane from initially swapping from mid lane, and he goes back to it. So we do have Aurelia locked in. The question being, is it Akali or the Aurelia in the top lane in the mid lane?
It's Aurelia up top. We're going to have APA piloting the Akali, even though APA can play Aurelia as well. He has yet to play it on
And Bradley
stage.
can play the Akali. He's done both.
Yeah, Bradley's Akali is really nasty, actually. So I am expecting that Aurelia, though, to be up top against the Sion. And while we had a lot of bot lane bans taken away, no Xayah, no Zeri, it will still be an Ezreal plus a Karma for the bot side of FlyQuest. So again, that team fight focus, really big for them here. That brings a lot of range and disengage against a very short range composition in TL. So important that TL is going to be able to get ahead early and have ways to close the gap. Also, we'd love to see maybe a Mikhail's Rush from Winsome going up against an Ashe plus Sejuani. That could be a lot of value that Winsome brings to the table. And you kind of have a built-in Shurelias with your manager E. So we'll see if that ends up being an optimization for Winsome in the back half.
It's very hard to engage onto this comp so far.
Ooh,
and
we have
TLC
the
say,
swap.
all right, let's not go for more engage. The Nautilus would have been leaning more into that. Instead, let's go for some follow-up, some poke, some more ranged damage in the bot lane.
I think the utility is actually pretty good here for TL. Again, when you look at FlyQuest comp, how can you really close the gap? I think that Jhin plus Ashe will help a lot with that now to make sure that these melee champions for TL are able to get in the face of FlyQuest. For me, it's just, what can TL do earlier on? Because they have a lot of range in the bot lane. If they're able to get ahead in lanes, like Aurelia needs to snowball. Akali kind of needs to snowball. Akali has good targets, but they need to be ahead, or else if they start losing out against all the poke and the range that FlyQuest has in the team fight, it's going to be a really tough game for TL. So we've seen good early games from them. Have to see another one now.
If Masu is, in fact, in LA, I'm so excited to see Masu on Ezreal, too. Can you imagine going from playing Ezreal in Challengers on 120 ping to then playing Ezreal in LA on the
I don't want to put you on the spot here, but if you watched Masu's games yesterday, they were pretty impressive of what he was able to do on normal ping. Again, going up against Unforgiven. They bot lane Kingdom with the help of an Elise Kalista Not comp game 1.
And Arrow walks in
Arrow
alone down here.
Okay.
This could be dangerous. Okay, he's walking out. Is he spotted? Does FlyQuest see him there? Okay, they walk up. Now they see him. Just a little bit of poke from Masu.
That mana flow
too crazy. Is Masu just the bait? No, he's just giving Arrow a hard time.
I mean, if it's I don't know if I saw a mana flow ban there or not from Masu. It could have been very worth. I don't know if you want blue tree or clear tree for secondary, but with that said, again, I think the plan here for FlyQuest, you have Azir, you have Ezreal, you have Karma, you have a Sion. It's scale, baby. It's survive early and go from there. Whereas for TL, all eyes on them to see if there is some action.
And we do have confirmation from production. No mana flow ban. So it's just about sending the message. It's just the ego play of like, haha, now Arrow has to back. I'm getting in his head early.
Guarantees bot prio. Important for the Karma plus Ezreal. As APA is going to go for the late ward. They find where the Malachi starts. gives Mir some info. Mir has been very, very good this split. I think Mir, for me, has been my top performing jungler that we have in the league is APA. That's a good start. Actually, fun fact, APA against Spyrax, Kangas. 2 Maryville alums. I know APA and Spyrax are very close. Spyrax actually boot camps at Maryville in the last offseason, and these guys run a lot of 1v1s against each other. APA holds Spyrax in very high regards. Both these guys definitely help each other get better, so a fun rivalry in the mid lane this game.
I love to highlight the history of the players because we talked about already Philip and Bradley, but now also Spyrax and APA. When you're at this level of the developmental League of Legends, a lot of it's grassroots. Like, a lot of these players know each other. They have histories with each other, which means they might be in each other's heads. Know how they like to play. Level 2 hit early from Masu and win some instant cleanse from Masu to get away from the root as they trade up slightly in the health bar trade.
I mean, you want to go even further back? You ready for this one, Kangas?
Yeah.
Not only are they both Maryville alums, but back in 2020, APA was the mid laner for Supernova. The mid laner for Supernova Dark Matter, their secondary team. It was Spyrax.
Oh, so Spyrax played under the tutelage of APA.
And then he went to FlyQuest first and tutored APA. Some symmetry there as Mir, so you can find anything bot.
Early on down here, Masu does not have the cleanse, does have the flash. Might need to use it. Arcane Shift is enough, but that is heal out of Winsome too.
Yeah, it will be fun. Spyrax actually a very good Akali player, so wonder how many 1v1s they've played of this matchup. Both probably know each other pretty well. Again, always fun to hear our Challenger players, how they get better behind the scenes. It's not just solo queue for these guys. It's a lot of time and practice tool, 1v1s as well. APA definitely takes full advantage of that. Talking with him. And at the moment, it is TL who have a slight advantage in terms of bot lane summoner spells. And again, for TL, really important that they are able to cash things in moving forward because their comp gets outscaled pretty hard by the side of FlyQuest.
Currently have all their lanes shoved in, save mid lane. Spyrax trying to get that one to crash. We saw Bradley go for a earlier back, pick up the coal, and save the teleports. He just walks back up to lane right as the wave is pushing back to his side. So good timing there from Bradley. Bot lane, meanwhile, shoving in, and both junglers are hovering around here. They'll spot each other as they both say, hey, I'm a tank, you're a tank. Should we slap each other? All right, cool. One slap each, we're good.
Yuji's okay with that, as he was able to walk away with that bot crab and now can take his respawn raptor camp. So we will have Mir now resetting. And
did he get the scuttle? I don't think he got the crab.
Oh, no, he didn't. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right, no. He sucks. Mir supremacy.
Yeah, Yuji, come on. How could you not get the crab from Mir and make Cubby look silly?
He'll get the other one, I just can't tell which covers are which. That's not important in League of Legends.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Definitely not important for my job,
Uh-huh. Yeah, I just want both teams to have fun. I don't get caught up in like who's on which side of the map.
I mean, that's why we have best of twos, right? Each team gets to have fun on the one side of their choice. So
true.
With that said, I do want to compliment Bradley for how he handled out this lane. Actually went for the 3-wave crash, based for a Cole, very strong in Aurelia, and now has a freeze against Philip. So he's going to save his TP, draw Philip's TP out, and now he'll be able to trade a little bit with Philip and can actually use his TP to come back with not only an item advantage, but also a health bar advantage.
Winsome's went for the mantra-empowered Q, as opposed to an aggressive play with the W, trying to get Flash out of Kim down, who's very low. No kills bot lane. I thought maybe Masu and Winsome would go crazy aggressive and go for that, because if they kill Kim down, I don't know if Arrow alone on the Jhin would have enough to then kill back. But Mir now, top lane onto Philip, who's trying to get this wave to crash in. It's in a really rough spot for him.
And
he's going to walk right into the brush. Sees Mir, gets the ward down. CC'd, but Bradley does not want to fight into that massive wave, so they call the play off.
And again, Bradley at any point, he can drop that wave, have it catch the turret, and then TP back. So I think Bradley's just waiting till he gets to a good item break point. I expect to see a Bork rush out of Bradley on this Aurelia, as meanwhile mid, Kim down.
Could be in trouble, actually. Yuji's here. Oh, they actually don't want to go aggressive because APA has the perfect execution. Honestly, I was wondering if they wanted to try and outplay that because they did not know Yuji was there, but FlyQuest say, nope, just flash from Spyrax, get to safety.
It does get the TP out of Spyrax. He does have Lost Chapter, but if APA gets this wave in and responds with TP, after these two camps, we could see TL maybe try and push for a dragon. With that said, I think the true plan here for TL is Herald. We talked about how They have to get the ball moving. We see the Lethality Jhin now going up against the Scion. That's an even bigger emphasis on getting the ball moving. So TL, I think it's all about this Herald play. And we'll have to see if they can set up a clean rotation for it as Bradley.
Battle dancing around Philip right now. Has a big wave there. And Flawless Duet will trade heavily into Philip, who says, all right, I'll just charge a Q. Get a Grasp of the Undying proc on you. Doing all right as the tank at the top lane. And I mean, you talked about the lethality, Jhin. Yes, get the ball rolling bot side. Late game, you still have an Aurelia who can help output a lot of damage to a Scion, so I don't mind too much.
This Scion is going to be a pretty thick boy going up against an Akali and a lethality Jhin. They're going to have to ignore the Scion.
Hear me out. Mirror, just, go Demonic Embrace. AP damage, right? Or, percentage health damage.
I mean, maybe. Who knows? Maybe APA is cooking up some, Riftmaker, Demonic Embrace, Akali. I highly doubt that. But you never know. As Scion, he's going to be a problem in this game. So important that Bradley's been able to keep him down early, not just for the Aurelia, but also for what this means for TL moving forward. And again, 20 seconds until this Rift Herald. All eyes there. So we're going to have to see if and when Kim Down rotates up. Level 6, of course, very big for Ashe, as ECA can be deadly.
Bradley is winning the health bar trade against Philip, shoving the wave in at the time the Herald can come up. Curtain call bot lane. Lasu trying to take for Winston, but actually jumps out of the way as he looks to get more damage onto Kim Down. So Arrow and Kim Down winning that trade heavily. They can shove this wave in. I'm curious if they use this for their own purposes of going for more plates, or if they want to get onto the map. Go for this Herald, because the rest of the team is there.
They're sacking. Spyrax doesn't have TP. He's basing, and Arrow. Actually, some really nice harass coming out from Kim Down as he finds the double W. Going to be 2 points now for the bot lane of TL. And this double marksman comp being played out well as they're picking up point spot. They're taking the Herald, and TL's winning across the board.
Smooth play. Don't need bot lane to come up if you have top lane and mid lane winning so hard. So Spyrax and Philip struggling against their lane opponents. Nets mirror that Herald while the bot lane is also winning. So Team Liquid, honestly, all over the map, have a lot of pressure to work with.
Now, they're doing great so far, and the big thing that I really like here from Mir is the fact that when he resets, he goes towards this bot side. So now that mid and bot are resetting, this is the one wave where FlyQuest can try and take this dragon for free. If not, you have to imagine they have to seed it over the TL, and the power they're bringing to the table early.
There's no teleports on Team Liquid, so they can't look to...
Yeah, it's after this bot wave. That's the only window they're going to have to take this dragon. And Yuji's not there to hit it. He's actually on the Krug, so we'll see. As TL actually rotating the Ashe plus Jhin mid. Spyrax is flashless, so they might look for a fish here on the Phoenix.
Do they want to go for the Azir?
Down to 6.
He has the ultimate. Okay, FlyQuest are a little late to the dragon now. They're spotting out the area. Team Liquid have first access to the river,
they spotted the bot lane.
And they push Yuji back.
Yeah, so if they were to hard shove bot, the idea is that, this is when TL, they did base, so they'd be catching the wave bot right now, but because TL actually walked through mid, their bot lane, now they have to catch this wave, and again, this is the one window where FlyQuest will have some wave advantages to try and hit this dragon. But given all the members of TL being here, that's why I really like the position from Mir. He's going to just try and stall it out, and he knows that his lane should be able to get pushed. After this, they can try and do the dragon for themselves.
And at this point, if Spyrax tries to walk in late, because APA's got the shove, AP is at a point where maybe the Akali can just solo the Azir. So it's really tough for FlyQuest to actually answer this. Yeah, Spyrax has to catch his wave and then walk into Fog of War. He's got that one ward to work with. So FlyQuest know that APA is coming around the back of the Dragon Pit. Team Liquid are using their giant tanky Sejuani to just walk up and clear out some of this vision. Does not trade too much damage back, so FlyQuest are not working with a lot of info here.
They still really want to stick around and try to contest this again. This is a point of the game where, I mean, it's all TL if they want it. So I think FlyQuest need to be careful, and that's the bot shove. So now TL, as we talked about earlier, they have shove at the moment in both of these lanes. They should be able to start up this dragon for free, but UG is positioned in the river.
Philip
Disadvantage is here for FlyQuest.
Philip's back and has teleport. He could look to join in on the fight. Asu's still on the wave. Now onto the dragon. Curtain call pulled. Yuji's taking a lot of damage. Dragon secured for Team Liquid, and Yuji just popped. APA picking up first blood after the objective secure.
And again, that's such a powerful window right now for TL, given you have the Lethality Jhin, Akali at this item break point. I mean, if you land an Eon Malachi, they just die, and now...
Oh,
okay.
Well, that was interesting. Oh, Spyrax with the NASA's Doge emote.
I still love how APA rocks all the Ziggs emotes. That's very on brand, you know?
Good for the brand, too, as Rafa would say.
Hey, that's my phrase. Come on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Rafa says it more, and I hear him say it more.
He has a thing about stealing my phrases, I gotta say. That said, no steals to be had here for Yuji, as this is a clean setup and fight for TL. Again, TL to have the advantage at this point of the game. Love how Kim Down angles that Enchanted Crystal Arrow into the terrain to make it really tough for Yuji to dodge. He's flashless, so we're shooting fish in a barrel here for the side of TL, and they make it work.
So much chain CC to stop him from contesting the dragon. By the time it's gone, there's enough follow-up to pick up the kill. Clean execution from Team Liquid nets them the Herald, the Dragon, First Blood, everything you could ask for as a team right now. You have favored FlyQuest scaling as the game goes on, but this is a sizable lead the Team Liquid are working with right now, and they're looking to push the envelope even more because they're dropping Herald bot lane.
They need more of a lead. It's the Thality Jhin and the Scion. You're going to keep needing to push this lead because once Scion gets to 2 items, this game gets a little bit difficult. You're just going to have to ignore him. But at the moment, it is TL checking all the boxes as Mirror escorts the Herald in. And that is more plates going over to the bot lane of TL. So they're hitting their win cons early.
Yeah, and that is no full turret take, so FlyQuest can feel good about that, but more plates, regardless to Arrow and Kim Down. Arrow's got to be getting close to that first item completion by this point. Probably on this next back we'll have it, and then it just comes down to stacking these objectives. The Herald and the Dragon will be the focus of Team Liquid for the rest of the game. Yep, and there we have it. Youmuu's... Oh, he already had it. Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that.
Well, moving forward, FlyQuest, we've talked about quite a bit with scaling is, when can you find your moments to be aggressive, even when you are on the back foot in a game? Because you can't just roll over and die. FlyQuest, I think that if they keep these lanes standard, we're at the point where Ezreal is A-okay in this lane. And I think that for the side of TL, they really need to break a turret to get Aurelia into the weak side lane. I think that's the next step here for TL. Just put Aurelia in her Lonesome as far away on the map from all the other objectives as possible and just let Bradley go to work.
Doesn't have TP to work with right now, but is just kind of wailing on Philip here as Vanguard's edge thrown out. Don't imagine this will be a solo kill, but just asserting dominance in this lane. Philip used the ultimate just to get back here, and as soon as you're here, well, say goodbye to that health bar. You're not holding on to that for very long.
Good old Bork here for the Aurelia. Bradley putting that to good use as he knows that he can sustain. Philip cannot. So more top lane pressure here for Bradley. And actually forced the base out of Philip. So, yeah. I mean, at this point, points are down. That could be the rest of the turret. Like, at least half of it falling here if Bradley is able to push. And with Philip now in base, we have TL rotating all their power mid. So they're going to give a couple bot waves over to the Ezreal, give away that bot side of the jungle, but it will be second Herald for TL.
Don't commit to the full turret. Bradley will roam down. And actually, FlyQuest, do they get first turret instead? This might be a slight blunder from Team Liquid. I mean, the Herald's nice. It gets you most likely a turret, but that is first turret.
I would agree with you. Oh, hold on, TP.
Okay, teleport coming down.
Oh!
Nice arcane shift to get away from the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but there's no backup coming. Masu and Winsome are alone.
Not a mistake anymore.
Jumps in onto Winsome. Winsome's out of there. Masu has flash too, and well done to FlyQuest, but APA never mind. He wants it. Not letting them get to the safety of the turret. Will dive under that. Says, what turret? APA picks up another kill.
Okay, Akali's off to the races here again. This is the pick that can break things in the mid game going up against these squishies. So first brick, still pretty good for FlyQuest, but like how APA uses that TP aggressively to punish. And now we'll see if TL can turn that into the second dragon of the game.
APA, a player that has come into the league already. A lot of people from the amateur scene rooting for him, collegiate scene rooting for him, family rooting for him, obviously. And plays like that are so fun to watch when you're able to style on a player like Winsome, who is just coming in from the LCS after a pretty solid showing, as well as his first weekend in the NACL. So, I mean, APA with 2 kills now under his belt is poised to be the carry.
It's not just that, too. Like, this is the style of play that APA needed to pick up and adapt, right? He's known for his mage play, his map play, not so much his assassin play, but it's gotten a lot better as... Oh, nice sidesteps.
See, Masu's been dodging these his whole career on 120 ping. Now that he's, you know...
The training weights are off.
Yeah, the training weights are off. He's dropping them down. They're making their little sand clouds. He's jumping on the air.
He went from UG Mongolia ping to, like, Korea ping, you know? That's a big... UG will tell you, that's a big difference.
Honestly, both these players kind of having similar stories in how they got started in their careers as the second Dragon goes over to FlyQuest. Team Liquid drop the Herald in the mid lane. Won't clear the whole turret, just get a lot of damage down on it. So FlyQuest find a small window to get something here. They're losing out on the gold department. Team Liquid Challengers are ahead there, but FlyQuest trying to stay in the game, not just give over free objectives.
They stopped the Dragon stack. That's worth dropping the turret, I think, to Bradley, as we will take a second look at APA. For those of you that don't know the Yuji story, as we go over APA, doing a little bit of styling here. He's trying to get away from the root. Didn't quite break it, so that's where things get a little bit tricky, but love the aggressive flash forward. He knows that he has it. APA makes sure that he connects. So story for Yuji. He is the only pro player from Mongolia, which he's very proud about. But he played on 100 ping to the EU server, the super server. I think it's the Ionian server in China. And then came over to NA and hit rank 5 playing like Kiana Zed. And it's really a bummer of a meta because, oh my, this guy's Kiana is so filthy.
Also playing with Bradley.
It's so fun.
Fun fact. So Bradley even has some history with Yuji as a player. They played for the same collegiate team briefly before Yuji got picked up.
Yeah, Bradley was pretty much gone by that point. But both from Bethany is, did we miss... Happened during the last replay. We missed some action as it looks like Masu's going to get caught out.
Oh, he cleansed early. He's used to the ping. He thought he needed to do that early because of the ping dip.
All right. He's too good. The Wi-Fi wizard needs to adapt to the LAN settings, you know?
Yeah.
That's big, though, because now Mir, I mean, this is a legitimate angle for Mir.
True. He's looking at it. Oh, he just misses, unfortunately. Sidestepped as Yuji now looks for the
he dragged Yuji in.
Doesn't get the right Bramble Smash. Mir is taking a lot of damage. Masu rooted down. Yuji's got to tank this up. He doesn't take either shot. One more. Oh, that was pretty rough as APA is now underneath the turret, and he can style on FlyQuest from this point. Masu. Oh, Masu. One more Q gets him. And Spyrax pushed away the rest of Team Liquid. Okay, turning around a weird play.
Philip gives a thumbs down to his own side ult. Okay, we got more TPs. Bradley can clean this up. Philip has the flash. Spyrax, he has flash and ult too.
Available. This is Bradley's angle. Flawless duet lands. Stun onto Philip, but he's just so tanky. Yeah, not even gonna throw it out.
Yeah, Bradley, back when he was a mid laner with Bethany, he did get knocked out top 4 against Maryville and against Spyrax, who subbed in for that tournament. Couldn't find his old foe there. But it is FlyQuest at least putting up a little bit of a fight. It's still a 2.5k goldie for TL, but they got a little bit of gold on the Masu that could be important moving forward.
Just sniping it at the very edge. I was so concerned because Yuji doesn't block the first 2 shots. You're like, watch this. He doesn't get hit by the Glacial Prison, but then curtain call pulled and Masu's just getting peppered.
I mean, sometimes it's the little things, though. Like, the fact that Masu, like, held the E because he knew he was actually going to dodge out on the Glacial Prison. Really good. And then Masu stays in the fight here and is still able to find APA with an ICQ on the back half after the slow connects. So, again, it's the little things. This guy's a rookie player. He's very young. It's like his second split of playing competitive. And then Philip, thumbs down. Just let us show the thumbs down.
Where is it? Oh, we didn't get the thumbs down emote.
That was the best part for sure.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I thought that there was somebody in the bush and that he missed them there. I didn't realize he just ulted into the wall.
He just wanted to make the sound effect to scare TL, you know?
Oh, honestly, yeah. The mental game.
Send a message.
Exactly. All right. He got Bradley's teleport because of that.
Resets coming out from Fly as we have a dragon coming out on the map as CFTL again can set up. All eyes on APA. APA, he has all the kills for TL. He's got to be the one that breaks this game open with the Akali here. I think this is one of the last fights where TL is going to have legitimate edge and advantage on the map.
Lethality Jhin not known for its scaling, but plays like this could be big. Targeting Winsome. It's the support. They're diving deep for this. They're teleporting under the turret. Masu has to flash away, but Bradley's following him. Masu's taken down. Double kill to Bradley.
Hold on.
Kim down. Traded. Mirror traded. Team Liquid might have bit off more than they can chew because Spyrax is still up. Everyone was focused on the 80 carry, but the mid laner still piloting all the damage. Shut down onto Bradley. Eugene Phillips set up Spyrax to knock him down, and APA with the Ziggs emote again realizes, yeah, I think the play's over. We might have overstayed.
Hold on, he's gonna look for Spyrax. We'll see if Spyrax takes a bad angle in, but he's instead gonna base APA.
Oh. Does APA have the Rocket Bell? He does.
Good
Onto
try.
Spyrax. Does he have the damage, though? No perfect execution. Flash available. Into the Shroud. Should be just fine.
Okay.
I like the look, though. I like the look.
Taking the flash away from Spyrax is big, and they also stop the reset. So APA doesn't have TP either. We'll see what we want to do. Oh. Okay. It should be Dragon going over to FlyQuest again. So I think TL, like, they're trying to push the pace, trying to push the tempo. It was an okay idea from Bradley there, but Kim Down got caught out on the back half.
Look would want this. They don't want to give this over.
They know they have to push.
Oh, they're not going to. Okay,
Yeah.
Arrow looks for the cheeky Deadly Flourish steal, but UG is good with the smite. So, second Dragon over to FlyQuest. That's the third of the game.
I think Fly
Ocean
scaled.
Soul starting to stack up.
Yeah, I think FlyQuest is scaled. I mean, we see 2 items on the Ezreal, on the Azir. TL, this is the last fight, I think, where they have legitimate edge from here. I think it's a little bit of an uphill battle. As it's a good find on the Winsome. I mean, everything is thrown at him, chained really nicely. Winsome was just able to get a big shield on himself so that Bradley had to at least commit. Bradley finding Amasu is big, but then look at this ult from Philip. As I think that one gets a thumbs up.
That makes up for the last one.
That's a thumbs up.
That was clutch.
And that turret's still up, so APA feels like he can't go in, and Bradley gets stuck here. So, again, really well played here by FlyQuest, just sticking together as a team of 5. Playing off of Spyrax's Azir. He picked up 2 kills, including a big shutdown. That's very important, again, moving forward. So the 2 carries from FlyQuest picked up gold. You can see how accelerated now Spyrax is as he's sitting on that Void Staff and working his way towards whatever he wants next.
And Mira's no resistances yet. Like, just Merc Treads and HP.
Moggs is right, though, this game.
Moggs is great, yeah, against the Maokai, but you're not going to be as tanky in the big fights. Once your passive's down, you know, the AP damage is going to just shred through you from Spyrax. So, drawing out fights are the name of the game here for FlyQuest Challengers, and right now they're posturing around the Baron. It would be early to go for a Baron fight, but they just want to make sure they don't leave it up for Team Liquid to take for free. So,
Maokai, Azir, Ezreal poke. Pretty huge.
It's going to be difficult for Team Liquid to find their angle back into this one, but they keep throwing out these Hail Marys. I mean, they're just throwing Ashe arrows on cooldown. I really do think that's their best play at this point. Just Kim Down, hit an arrow onto somebody. Hopefully they're out of position so the team can follow up.
APA is actually looking for an angle here. He has snuck in. Yuji is going to kind of find him. So it's a bit awkward, but APA can go on the Maokai.
The Deadly Flourish almost followed up. Not quite.
Got the Raptor.
The Ashe arrow again on cooldown. I'm telling you, I think there's going to be more times that Ashe arrow's on cooldown than off.
That's how you should play it. So TL, again, they're still fishing. They're still looking. It's just that FlyQuest. And they got to the point of the game where they still have trouble playing 3 lanes against the Akali plus the Aurelia. So TL always has a way to play themselves into the game through that. But, oh, hold on. He's dead.
Oh! Masu just snipes him. That was on vision. Arrow did not expect that. Now Masu could be in trouble. Nah, he's out. He's just fine. Teleport
we have
coming
TPs,
in, actually.
though.
Phillips ulted. This is
Bradley.
a very deep teleport. I don't think Bradley wanted this one. Wishes he could take it back, because that's everybody from FlyQuest Challengers ready and waiting for you.
I think that, if you're going for that, you got to flash commit there as APA. Just a little bit not on the same page there for TL. As Bradley goes down, that's 2 down, and now FlyQuest, the poke they have around this Baron, APA doesn't have ult. This is going to be so tough.
Mir, I think the only angle is a Mir steal.
Yeah, look at
It would be a miracle if he can do it. Can you find it?
They have true vision. Kim Down's doing nice, stalling out.
Going. Oh, he stopped. Spyrax with the Emperor's Divide a little early, but it works. They get the Baron, they get the kill. APA goes back in for Winsome and just trades his life for the support. FlyQuest Challengers. Cool heads, calm gameplay, and they will punish Team Liquid's mistakes.
And I got to give it to Fly, as yesterday it was blitzing 100 Thieves Challengers, not allowing the Zeri Lulu to scale. And today it's scaling. This is a lot of what FlyQuest played back in spring of last year with this core. But they just waited their time. They found a couple fights, and then FlyQuest, they realized, hey guys, when we have 2-3 items, that's when we really start to hit our stride. They've been forcing, and a couple mistakes from TL. It's been too much. FlyQuest is punished really well, and now they're in a great game state.
And for the first time, FlyQuest have the gold lead here as we get another look.
Yep.
Spyrax says, no, I'm on mirror duty. The only way that this goes poorly is if Mir gets a steal, so he just commits himself into it. And Mir does have a short window here. Actually, I don't even think he had flash, so the Arctic Assault was blocked by Spyrax. Yeah, that was actually just really clean play from FlyQuest.
Really, really well done. I gotta say, we're gonna have to see if TL can get anything done in the team fight. I don't think that's gonna be the case, as Bradley, he's on rage split duty, and I gotta say that is the Aurelia comfort zone. So Philip will have to respond, and Philip does have TP, so this dragon's off the table. And FlyQuest, again, I love when our teams have Baron. I love when they ignore the dragon. Go shove the lanes. Go get those turrets down first. So they're going to make sure that they utilize that Baron buff well, and then they're going to take dragon on this outro. A little early.
It's so efficient to push the wave and then peel back to dragon, because your opponent's got a decision then. Either they run blindly after you, or they catch the wave. Most likely, they're just going to catch the wave. You get the dragon without even having to contest it. But here's a contest as Philip and Bradley find themselves in a 1v1. Philip's not winning this one, but he gets back enough. I guess Bradley just isn't feeling confident enough to go for it. As now Philip says, you're not getting out of this one. You committed to the fight. So I got some friends coming. You'll love them. I hope that you all can meet. But no, Bradley says, I'm not interested. I got a dip. I got a ice cream waiting at home.
Oh,
some Netflix
he does?
shows to catch up on. I'm gone.
That's nice. I mean, ice cream at home, that sounds like the dream, then.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I'm inventing a whole story for how Bradley's night's going to go after they lose this game.
Well, I mean, hopefully you guys got to talk about that over some burgers with Mir. I know. But I think that he wants to focus on the next game first, personally, Kangas, but that's just me.
Well, that's the thing. They do get an opportunity to come back, because this game's feeling pretty doomed. There's a chance. Yeah. There's a chance maybe they find some crazy play, but it's going to come down to a misplay from FlyQuest here.
This Scion's kind of unkillable.
Oh, wait, here's the teleport flank from APA. All right, Team Liquid, they're not giving up yet. UG tanky as well. He does a lot of damage to Bradley, who's still alive. APA gets in there. Not quite the impactful flank, but now it is. Perfect executions right onto the back line. Has the stasis, but even the team cannot follow up. Philip just creating so much space. Double killed Amasu, and that was the final play from Team Liquid Challengers. Only Kim Down left alive. 3 members from FlyQuest. They can just walk this in mid.
You know, good try on Ignore the Scion. I will say Scion took about 1k damage there, so that was more than I thought the Thality Jim would do. But Scion scaled, FlyQuest scaled, and this front line plus the back line, it's too much for TL to deal with, as they will fall.
Incredible play from FlyQuest Challengers, staying cool in the early game, not letting it get too out of control, scaling up, and Spyrax plus Masu providing all the damage they needed. Combined KDA of 9, 2, and 10 between the two of them, but the game's not over yet. They actually don't have the wave to end right now. Kim Down barely lives. Masu actually missing one of those Qs. So, flank from Bradley. Vanguard's edge on the Masu. Can they keep him alive? Phillips trying to frontline here, but Masu is still the target. He's not CC'd yet. Masu goes back in! Thought he had the damage there to take down Bradley. Clearly did not, as APA will clean up a double.
Well, there's no Baron on the table, but FlyQuest maybe point out their end game a little bit too quick. As I mean, face checking Aurelia was that's bold. Honest, I respect it from Masu. You know, I always root for the big plays.
You know, okay, if he pulls that off, I would have lost my voice.
I don't know if I would have.
How hype it is.
I don't know if I'm still disappointed a little bit, but you know,
a little bit.
It is what it is.
Typically, as Ezreal, you want to go the other way, but he got close. He almost killed Bradley. Bradley did, in fact, buy a decent amount of armor, though, so not gonna.
I think it's important to note too that we have the Kraken Slayer coming in here for Ezreal. Yep, boots have been sold for this Kraken Slayer. We're gonna get a replay as Kim Down. Props Kim Down. He did flash to dodge out on that Mystic shot.
Yeah. So
well played. As we got something out of Masu and then Bradley on the back half. I mean, the full send from TL. Just a little bit too late. That's really the one issue. As Masu did actually get out of the E from Aurelia with that, and then yeah. I mean, if you go into the brush, it's lit, but it was still spotted. I
mean, you still die. Aurelia's just gonna Q you in the brush if you're autoing. She's got vision, so I think he dies either way.
Clean from APA too. You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
You can still see how much damage the Fallacy Jin does to the zombie Scion. Oh, God. He has LDR now, at least. You know, there's still not any hope, but, you know, maybe there's hope.
Yeah, now he can hurt Yuji. Yeah.
No,
Baby
he...
steps.
Yeah, no, he really can't hurt anyone still. But, you know, I respect TL. TL, for me, they have been playing all these early game strats for the year. I think that it makes them a better team as we move into the later parts of the split. I think that we have seen TL2 really scale up. Like, their macro has been improved. I know this game likely isn't going to go in their favor, but I think that TL is starting to play a lot better as a team, and this early game focus for them over the course of the season, it pays off.
FlyQuest were trying their best to end the game previously, but like you've been saying, Team Liquid are holding on. Now it comes down to this final Baron fight.
Oh, there's sacking
Dragon's
Soul,
Soul's
too.
also coming up, so I think FlyQuest can look at that. Team Liquid need to be worried about the Baron, though, because if FlyQuest split members to Dragon, they can go Baron, and if FlyQuest go Baron, Team Liquid need to be here. So I think this is the correct call from Team Liquid.
And this game is pretty doomed, so I'm okay with them just trying to play for the Baron. So they're going to start it on the Soul timer and see if anyone from FlyQuest is there. As Bradley actually is playing through a Zero turret.
Ooh, dodges past
Bradley?
Spyrax. Bradley in a little bit of a 1v2 here and actually might win it. Emperor's Divide back. Bradley's dead. All right, he tried his best, but Masu joined in on the fight, picks up that kill. 4v5. This game should just be done unless APA can do something absolutely insane here. Gonna require a miracle. Mere frontlining for Arrow and Kim down as APA goes back in onto Yuji. The super minions are in with Spyrax on the game. Masu's locked down. APA takes him out. Spyrax start for Team Liquid, but Spyrax just ends the game. The rest of the team says, stall the backs. Don't let them get here. APA teleporting in, but Spyrax, one more honor, should have it. Oh, he's having fun with it, though. What's the kill on the APA first? Send the message. Philip, come on, guys. Spyrax will finally end the game.
Philip's not a KDA player. All right, we knew that from the start. He just wanted to make sure that message was sent. And FlyQuest, nice job scaling that game. Again, I feel like that's still early game. They needed that. Needed the stall out TL. They played to their win cons. And the fact that FlyQuest showed yesterday they can play early game, and today they can play mid to late game, something we knew they could do last year. Another good sign for this team as we move closer to playoffs.
Knowing the history of players like Spyrax, UG, Philip, with players like Bradley, APA, I would love to see what all chat was like at the end of that game. But unfortunately, we don't have that capability. Maybe we can get a screenshot or something. As we send it to a short break, give the players some time to rest up and get ready for game number 2. After this, we'll have Magical coming back on for a halftime show. See you there.